Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoyed these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. Today, we are discussing what might be my favorite Seiko or Grand Seiko dive watch. This is the Seiko Prospex Diver 300M SLA019. This is an anniversary tribute to the 1968 reference 6159-700X, a timepiece that was notable for design and engineering, lending itself to this 1,968 piece limited edition for 2018, all of stainless steel. The watch is big, brash, and functional first and foremost. A gorgeous forest green across bezel and dial, the stainless steel case itself with a reasonable footprint, though 44.3 millimeters in diameter. Lug to lug, it spans a wearable 50.3 millimeters. Now, if you include the solid end links of the bracelet, by the way, the watch has bracelet and an accessory silicone strap included, then it's 52.9 millimeters across the wrist. It's not as thick as it looks. 15.5, I would have guessed 17.5 to 18, so the watch is slimmer than appearance suggests, and you could wear it underneath a jacket cuff, though you probably won't. This one's for use during exuberant activities, those that might involve working up a sweat. The spacing between the lugs, and you can see there are apertures for strap tools, 20 millimeters, so you've got a bevy of 20 millimeter size options, OEM and aftermarket. The timepiece fits securely and it sits securely on my wrist. I would say you could probably wear it on the bracelet on a wrist as small as 14.5 centimeters circumference, 14 centimeters circumference if you fit the strap. Now, you might have heard a little bit of a ratcheting sound in the background as I was posing the watch in the beginning, and that's because the watch features a extension system that you can actually expand and contract while it's on the wrist. There's actually a pair of buttons underneath the clasp that you can pull up. It takes a little bit of practice, but once you learn how to use it, I'll show you this, you can actually expand the bracelet on the wrist, and it's a wonderfully convenient system. Like the Rolex Deep Sea, it lets you make those adjustments without breaking the band across your wrist, without taking it off and risking droppage in a marine environment, because once you drop it overboard, it's gone. Now, the clasp is nicely made. It's a double locking system, so you see there's a twin trigger release. You can't pull it open now, but it double locks with a clamshell and triggers. Seiko over-engineering this one, giving you almost 2 inches of adjustment. That's 50 millimeters for those of us who live in Stone Age countries and still use imperial units. You can see that the bracelet is also nicely made. It does use pin sleeves. There are some concessions to the fact that this is a Seiko, not a Grand Seiko, but the finish is quite attractive with staggered link sizes, link alignments, as well as polish and satin finish. The case band beautifully executed. Now, here's where things start to go all Grand Seiko on me. First of all, the bracelet is what you would get on a Grand Seiko diver, but so too is the case finish. This is the legendary Zaratsu tin plate optically finished surfacing. The tin plate system, basically a milling by hand and eye coordination using manual pressure and the artisan's experience to create this mirrored optically smooth surface, and you'll see I'm smudging it with my finger oils, against a tin plate, and you create this Zaratsu finish, as they call it, and it's unlike anything you'll find in Swiss horology, at least anywhere near this price point. You probably have to spend 10 times the price of this watch to get anything similar from a Swiss watch brand. This kind of black polish is generally applied to components of Swiss watch movements, not cases. So you're getting a hand-finished case in an entry-level diver. Now, let's jump into the bezel itself. First of all, the case design, a monoblock. Everything loads through the front. That monoblock case design helping to seal out helium gas. It needs no helium gas release valve because none can enter. That's Seiko's logic. So this is a gas certified, saturation dive capable diving watch. It's just that impregnable. It also features perhaps the most satisfying bezel I've ever experienced on a Seiko or Grand Seiko product. It has a deep, dark rumble to its detent. You don't hear it so much as you feel it, and the detents are remarkably distinct, more so than any other Seiko or Grand Seiko product I've ever experienced. It does have a ceramic bezel insert, and that's a major upgrade over what's been available in the past. Previously, it's been ADLC on Seiko and Grand Seiko products. No longer. You get a ceramic bezel insert, effectively just as scratch resistant as the sapphire crystal itself. Let's get everything back in focus, afford ourselves a bit more light. You can see how you can line up that luminescent index with the minute hand. Now you have an impromptu 0 to 60-minute timer. There is a forest green color about the gloss bezel with white lacquer inlays for all of the calibrations, and the same feature about the dial, albeit in a metallic tone with a sunburst grain. All applique indices, surprising on a watch that is considered to be an entry-level diver, and there's a dished ray haut for tracing the seconds outboard. Just enough yellow gold tones in the gilt print of the 300-meter signature at 6 o'clock, as well as the oversized Grand Seiko counterweighted seconds hand. The crown down at 4 o'clock is a signature of Seiko and Grand Seiko divers, and underneath the case back, by the way, as you can see, individually labeled, and that notation HE gas representing the saturation dive capability of the watch, but we have a movement 8L35 based on the Grand Seiko 9S65, and here's the thing, this is basically a Grand Seiko movement in a Seiko watch. Automatic winding, 50-hour power reserve, 26 joules, stop seconds, so hacking seconds, and a quick set date, 28,800 vibration per hour beat rate, and again 300 meters water resistant and gas immune. I'll also mention that this watch has a ton of proprietary tech. You've got that diving clasp with the extensions built in. You've got dia shield, so it's a hardened Zaratsu surface. So not just hand polished, but also hardened, much like EBE 2000 hardened Bremont case. So it's very scratch resistant. You have Lumibright, or Seiko's proprietary luminescence on the dial. Very bright, there will be a lume shot. The watch features that ceramic bezel insert. It also features that alternate silicone strap that's included with its own buckle, and it's 16,000 ampere per meter anti-magnetic. Remember, an anti-magnetic watch, per the ISO 764, only needs to be resistant to 4,800 amperes per meter. This is 16,000. A watch chock-a-block with features, and yet very wearable every day. This timepiece is not a big bully like the Deep Sea. This could be your everyday companion, and I have to say, it's the best Grand Seiko dive watch ever made. Oops, did I just say that? You can see this Seiko Prospex Diver 300-meter SLA019 on the watch box. Seiko SLA019.